이 동영상은 힐리코리아에서 출처하여 KBS 그룹에서 만들어졌으며 힐리코리아 시장 활성화하기 위해 편집되었습니다. KBS 그룹장은 한종호 사장님으로 되어 있습니다.
Now let's look at a practical example from the field of career. This is not just about the job that pays your bills at the end of the month, but about work which corresponds to your true inner nature by giving you inner fulfillment. We are dealing here with the important and interesting balance between occupation and vocation. A person can, of course, hold a job for some time that is paying well in order to provide a livelihood for themselves and their family, but is not satisfying them personally. In the long run, however, this situation is unsustainable, and life will eventually confront a person with this conflict, maybe by various forms of unhappiness. Ignoring this inharmonious condition will never make the problem go away. On the contrary, it will lead to an ever-increasing imbalance in life. Incidentally, this fact also works the other way around. A person may work in a poorly paid and perhaps very challenging position, but one that suits their nature and personality profile. They will experience fulfillment and deep satisfaction as a result. The goal of this example of analysis is to reflect a person's nature in the best possible way in their professional life. To do this, we must first find out how their personality profile is composed, that is, what inherent personal qualities make up a particular person. For this reason, it makes sense to use this category if you would like to find out what would be an ideal occupation for you, want to realize and live according to your true nature, your real self, find yourself in the wrong job and are looking for an alternative, or want to identify and release mental blocks that are hindering your career. In our example, Max wants to realize his true potential and personal talents and use them successfully and productively for himself and for those around him. As a focus for the analysis, we found the following options. I use my strengths and abilities in my work. I am living my true calling. I identify and achieve my goals and desires with ease and clarity. My vocation provides me with deep satisfaction and financial independence. It pleases those around me and brings them valuable benefits. We choose the last focus for Max and then select 1, 2, or 3 entries from the databases in the category Career. In our analysis list, we find some personal blockages that stand in the way for realizing Max's vocation. On the other hand, related personal abilities and skills are to be identified and strengthened. By the way, it does not matter for the analysis whether we are analyzing an employee or a self-employed person. In the first entry, which is the only cause in this list with a D potency, we find the core issue preventing Max from experiencing satisfaction, from providing added value to his environment, and thus from living his vocation. He is lacking personal responsibility. In our dialogue with him, we find out that he likes to delegate tasks out of convenience, lack of discipline, and an inappropriate workplace design. He therefore does not manage to discover and develop his full potential. This basic disposition is causing him stress in the long run, because his colleagues are reacting negatively to it and his personal relationships are suffering as a result. If Max can master his tasks by himself, he will not only be a role model for others, but he will also grow his strength, realize his full potential, and thus fulfills his vocation bit by bit. Basically, he enjoys his work very much. He never thinks of leaving it. which also reflects his social and professional environment. As already indicated, the second entry represents a clear consequence of the lack of personal responsibility. Colleagues are turning their backs on him, distancing themselves socially and marginalizing him within the team. This, too, is ultimately causing stress for Max because he's a team player who likes to work on solutions in a group and experience profound bonds of collegiality. The intensity of 8 in the first 2 entries show us that we might take him to task on this cause-effect principle and confront him directly on the issue. The fourth entry from the area of personal talents represents another consequence. Setting boundaries does not mean being antisocial or dictatorial. Natural boundaries not only show his co-workers that Max loves his work and is protective of it, but they also help him to live his vocation. Furthermore, if the colleagues see that he sets boundaries lovingly and benevolently, he will not experience any ill will or resentment in turn. Any fear in this regard is therefore unjustified. His work even requires Max to set limits to the proper degree. So this entry is showing that he should become even clearer and more conscious in this area. The last consequence becomes clear in the sixth entry. Max has not yet managed to appropriately express his needs and desires. He often offends his co-workers, annoying them with inappropriate words or actions. He lacks the necessary moderation, sensitivity, and empathy when dealing with colleagues. We recommend further analysis on this topic and also personal training, such as seminars and group exercises. Both LM potencies support the development of the personal abilities of planning and overseeing in the background. This means thinking and acting with foresight, such as creating necessary mental and physical structures, as well as taking on an observer role or keeping a bird's eye view. When keeping the appropriate distance, it is often easier to recognize the causes of professional challenges and to master them sustainably through a targeted intervention. However, since these issues are only revealed here in a subtle way, they should not be prioritized in the interpretation in order to maintain clarity. You can usually simply integrate LM potencies into the optimization without explicitly mentioning them in the dialogue with the client. If only C or LM potencies occur in an analysis, the root cause of the core issue has not been found. In this case, it is advisable to rephrase the focus with a clear and positive goal. A coaching conversation may help in clarifying this.